Is
Yes,
on to as
you're
well.
you're live and direct.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for the opportunity. Sis, my name is Afolake Babadi Babasane. I'm a procurement specialist. I work with EU ECOWAS project right now, and I'm currently we're working on the joint border post Abidjan Lagos corridor. I'm married with 2 kids, and I run a business. I'm also a consultant. I consult for offices for event and on procurement basis. So that's what I do. That's a bit about myself. So we have a very big, interesting topic today. By saying, how do you manage your business, your family, and your career? Well, I would since I'm the one giving, I'm the one anchoring, so I'll probably try to set examples about myself. How I started off. I started my business. Okay, I have 15 years work experience, ranging from investment banking. From I started with Diamond Bank. I remember when I moved to Abuja, I started with Diamond Bank. Then what actually prompted me to go into business while I was working was when I was in Diamond Bank. I had a friend that was in America. She used to send stuff to me, and I used to help her sell. And I sell a lot, you know. At the end of the month, when I'm wiring back the money to her, well, it used to be a lot of money. And I used to think, oh, for like you can sell very well. Why didn't you start this? But based on where I was working then in 2007, it was against my work ethics. You cannot have any other business while you work. So I couldn't start up a business because I don't like to try and do shady stuff. So I was selling for her then. Fast forward to 2010 when I left the bank, the project, the bank, the CBN brought out policies that banks shouldn't have subsidiaries anymore. So I was thinking, okay, if this work collapses or I get laid off, what do I do? Then I kept wondering, I need to have a plan B. Am I just going to rely on my husband's income? Of course, he will always give me money, supports me, but as a woman, I wanted more for myself. Luckily, I got another job at the USAID project as an office administrator and as an office manager, and I moved up to an administrator. So I worked there for 6 years. So while I started that job, on the second year of my job, that was where the journey began. So I will tell the process while I narrate the story because I want it to be real life. It's not, I don't want it to be like the regular talk that is always from Google. You know, I want it to be relatable. When I started the steps I took and the process I'm going to share with us. When you want to start a business while you work, the first thing you must identify what you like to do. You must identify your person. A lot of times we try to do what is in vogue or what is applicable. I did that, but I went wrong with it. I remember that when I wanted to start a business, that was when baking was in vogue in Abuja. I live in Abuja. Cupcakes, all those kind of desserts. So I told my husband, I can do this thing. I am very good at, setting the table, presentation, making things very smooth. So my husband now said, okay, if that's what you want, I'm going to back you up. So I got a course in the US. I went for baking, how to bake cakes, cupcakes, and all that. And I was there for a while. I went for other stuff. So after the course, I came back home. I was going to start my baking school. When I got back, I realized that baking wasn't my strength. It wasn't what I love to do. But because I felt I didn't look at myself what I actually love to do. As an entrepreneur, you must do what you love to do, not what is in vogue. I don't like to cook. I just cook because, bake all those things because as a woman, you should know how to do those things. But it's not my forte. It's not my person. So the first thing you have to do as an entrepreneur, you must understand who you are. Some people love to cook. They can cook the whole of, for like 40, 80 people. I just like my kitchen clean. Just looking at those utensils, everything sparkling. That's the kind of person I am. So after so much thought, of course, thinking about it, then I decided I was going to run a business. I was going to start a boutique. That's a fashion store. So the steps I did was that I measured my desired change. Number one, to run a successful managing your business, your career, and your family, you must measure your desire for change. How far do you want to change? What exactly do you want to do? Do you understand? You must understand in your mind that I want to be successful. Measure your desire for change. I want to run this thing because we have more inside of us as women. Everybody, but as a woman, I can speak for myself and we have a lot embedded in us. We have a lot of strength, we have a lot of energy, and we have a lot of willpower. So the first thing you have to do is to measure your desired change. You know, I talked about my history when I went to go and learn baking all the way in New York. And I go back and I realized that it wasn't my thing. When I went back to the drawing board, I measured my desire for change. I had in mind, you know, I made up my mind that whatever I do, I was going to do it well. Because the truth of the matter is that the people we were working for started from somewhere. All the people we were working for, they started from somewhere. That organization they are seeing that is multinational today started from 1 or 2 persons. I'm a startup specialist. I start up organizations for multinationals. So I understand how these things grow. I was reading the story of the guy that owns Fubu. He was working with a lobster when he started his business. So all this business we're seeing today, they started from one man before they grew up to become who or what they are today. So my number one is measure your desire to change. That means there's something about you that wants to change. I can be more, I can do more. So when you have that desire, then you set up your mind to put enough and desire after what you want to do. So that's about identifying what you want to do. Now I've identified that I couldn't bake, I couldn't cook. Not that I cannot do it but enough to run a business. Maybe I wasn't patient with myself, but I knew that it wasn't in me. I wasn't gingered, I wasn't inspired. And I thought about what else do I like to, I love fashion, I like to look good, I like to dress well, you know, I like to combine 1 or 2 things together and I look very presentable, I look very rich. And people are like, oh, you look very, I'm like, oh, I just got this thing for very few amount of money. So I started by selling from the house. I got goods and I started selling from the house. Then you must also understand that whatever you do in your 9 to 5, you must try and inculcate into your business and in your home. Part of the things I do for 9 to 5 is that I said earlier when I introduced myself, I'm a procurement specialist. I am a startup person, and I'm also an operations person. I'm a systems person. I set up operations, inventory, and all that. So I was able to do that in my home, my store. I don't run out of stock. Because when you don't set up your home and you do a lot of things together, you become jack of all trades, master of none. You must be organized. You must learn to do things. You know, you set up an inventory in your office, then you come back home, you don't have an inventory. You don't even know how many milk you have. You don't know how many things of hot chocolate you have. You don't know this, you don't know that, you know. So you just put a checklist on your fridge, and when you are running out, you just write it down. Milk is remaining 1. You put a date. You know, those were the things I did at my initial stage that was able to help me. So you have to also understand that you must be mentally, physically, and technically knowledgeable. You know, we're talking about a career woman now. That's a woman that has knowledge. I know some of us are vast, you know, we're very vast in our career. So we must understand that we have to mentally stable, physically, because you'll just be frustrated. And when you're frustrated, you won't achieve anything. So I stated number 1, measure your desire to change. When you have the zeal to change, you have the willpower to change, then you're making progress, you're happy, then you understand what you want to do, that yes, I want to change. So you've measured that. And I'll be moving to number 2, set a time frame for yourself. Because when you do 9 to 5 and you want to start up a business, it helps you. You don't borrow money to start up. For those that don't have family funds, you don't have parents that give you, you can save up from your salary, set up an investment scheme. For those that earn in Naira, you can set up 100, you know, maybe 100,000 Naira, 200. I remember when I started, I gave myself 18 months. I started up putting money aside every month to start up the store. I got a store, I equipped it. No, I did it up. I got an interior person because I wanted to do something very nice. And when I did up, everybody was like, wow, how did you come about it? Because I set up a realistic frame for myself. Don't put yourself under pressure. Set up a realistic goal for yourself. Put money aside. The advantage of having 9 to 5 and running a business is because you have financial dependence. You don't have to borrow. You are not under pressure. You know what you want to do. You set up goals. You put money aside. You create an account that you cannot touch. So then you also do a market research. Where do you get your goods from? Make inquiries about importation. What is allowed to be brought into the country that you're in? Do you pay import duties? If I start this, how much am I going to make on clothes? Some are doing, we are doing different things. Some are cooking. How much are these things? If I'm making Nigerian food, I'm in the UK. What are the costs? Ask questions. Even though you're knowledgeable, a lot of times we only have book knowledge. We don't have the street knowledge. So we need to ask questions about these things. How do we do? Because entrepreneurship is real. It's not about speaking English or speaking phonetics. It's about the reality. How much money you can bring into the table on the table, and how much profit you can make. Thank you. Also, create a startup strategy. When you are starting up a business, it's still under the set a realistic time for yourself. When you set up realistic time, you create a startup strategy. Okay, I told you, I'd done when I started my business 5 years ago, I'd made up my mind I was going to launch out in April. I went to get my goods in January. After the saving up for 12 months, and my husband helped me and all that. Then my goods were already in by end of February, first week in March. Then I started setting up. I started putting tags, inventory, systems in place, because I knew that I wasn't going to be in the store forever. I was just going to take my leave period to go and set up the store. So what I did was that I created a startup strategy. I wasn't under pressure. I was taking my time. Every weekend, I go to the store. I put up jackets. I log them in the inventory. The other weekend, I take tops to the store. I take skirts to the store. And then I realized, I needed to buy diffusers. And I did it, and it was just beautiful. It wasn't that there were not a lot of hiccups. Sometimes I saw the importation bill, I just started crying. It wasn't that it was all smooth. There will be challenges just like the way we run our lives. But because you have set up a realistic time for yourself, you are not under pressure. You're not, a lot of times to put ourselves on undue pressure, we have to do this. When it's not possible, extend your timeline. You're not competing. The business is enormous. It's large enough for yourself. Thank you. Then you also, a lot of people feel that because you do 9 to 5, you cannot evaluate your business and monthly goals. It helps you when you realize, okay, this is how much I spend on, maybe you send money to your parents, yourself, your monthly expense. You can share it. My salary, this goes to my salary, this goes to my store. Pay yourself a salary. Start costing, startup costs and operating costs. Before you go into business, understand that you have to, if you don't have all those things in place, when you start up a business, you get very frustrated. Number 4, run your business on your lunch break time. When you are doing 9 to 5, run it on your lunch break time. When you want to go and get something in the store, you want to post. Like now, I don't post this on my status. Not because I don't want to. I have a lot of people on my WhatsApp, my timeline, because I don't want my work people in my business. I did that the last project I worked with, and it was a lot of issues. Even though it was a multinational, people are very petty. When you go out, they say, oh, she has gone to her store. It frustrates a lot of people. So you have to be very careful. When you are doing anything, separate your work, your 9 to 5 from your business. It helps you. And also, your family time is very key, because in all this, family is first. Once you're able to organize your business, organize your career, putting your family first will not be a problem. By the time you know that Mondays to Fridays is your 9 to 5, on Saturday, you're after your family. And of course, Monday to Friday, you come back and you see your children. Once you're done, you set them up, then you can go. Remember that we've talked about setting systems in place when you are setting a realistic time. You have to make sure that if you don't have a system in place in your business, you cannot manage the 3. Your sales girl or your rep, they're going to be eating you up. So what you need to do is that make sure that you have systems in place. You have great time management scheme. You cannot sit on Netflix. When you're managing family, career, when you're even going to be there, you have to be a bonding time with your family. Not that you don't own your life. There's a lot in your time. You have a lot. And I've realized that there is time, that we have time for everything. It's just because we don't make good use of it. A lot of us sit on the phone for 2 hours chatting things that are not reasonable. You have to channel that time. Oh, have I spoken to my son today? Have I spoken to my daughter? When I'm talking about, have you have connection with them one-on-one? Those are the things as a business person, as a family woman, and as a career person, you have to understand those things. So running your business in your break time, you need time management skills and planner. You need to be a great planner. You have to make sure that you plan well. When you have break time or you have holidays, you can decide, oh, this holiday, I'm taking my children out. You can inculcate your business around your family. Oh, girls, guys, let's go out. Then you go and eat. Then from there you get, oh, mommy, where are you going to? Let's stop by at the store. You've already bought them today. You sit down, your children are with you, you're in your business, you're doing your inventory, customers coming, you're relating, you're fulfilled. Because once you don't plan your time, part of it is going to suffer. And you know that you cannot afford your family to suffer. All these things we're doing, if you are fulfilled and you don't have a good home or a good family time, is null and void. Then you also have to work a doable time to accomplish this. I've talked about this, creating time value. It's not a time you don't have the luxury to be doing frivolous things. Not because you're hard on yourself, because you know your time is money. Remember that we have the ability to do more. It's just making sure that our mental health, our physical, we're stable and we have the technical knowledge. And moving to number 5, do a joint sales opportunity and stack of your bread. Make sure that you're involved in all these promotions group on Facebook. There are a lot of them on Instagram. You have to run adverts, put your business out there. While you're at work, your managers are managing it. You're also using your technical knowledge to run your business. From what COVID has taught us now, everybody is going to e-commerce fully. So you can run your desk, you can get someone to run your business, your e-commerce business, and you're reaching everyone while you're doing your 9 to 5. Then that's on that one. Because when you join the sales promotion day, they help, like the small business link. That's what we're doing. While we're at work, they're posting for us, they're reposting. People are getting to know our businesses. We're getting more engagement. We're making more sales, and we're happy. Number 6, invest in yourself and your dream. As you're going on being an entrepreneur, you have to make sure that you invest in yourself. There's something called knowledge limits. As you advance in your career, there's a limit where your knowledge can take you to. That's the truth. When you get to a certain level, you realize that masters is not enough. You need maybe to get a project management course. You need to get time management course, emotional intelligence course. So you have to invest in yourself. Once you invest in yourself, you understand how to go around these things. You have the ability to juggle effectively. That it doesn't affect your home, your children are not suffering, your husband is not suffering, and your career is not suffering. Own your increase, your income, have invested in yourself. Invest in workshops like you're doing now. You could be watching TV, but you're listening to this. Join seminars, read more books, listen to things on YouTube, how people, successful entrepreneurs, how they started. Those things enlarges your mindset. You are not clouded. A lot of us don't listen to the naysayers. I'm not saying we're not obstacles, but one thing, we can do it. That's the truth. We have the ability to do it. It's just about the mindset. So you have to, because you can make money, the advantage of when you have this is that you make more money and you have the ability to control your life with resources. So you can actually invest more in yourself and achieve your dreams. You can save up for your children, even though, while the bills are being paid by your husband, you have ability to do extra things. Maybe you can have music classes. Those are essence of being an entrepreneur. You have ability you can help people. So a lot of people that are entrepreneurs does not mean that they actually feed on the money. But the fact that you have financial dependency, you have multiple streams. When people come to you, you're there emotionally, financially for them. It gives a sense of fulfillment. Thank you. So do things to help you become better, entrepreneur-wise, career-wise, and listen to, I've talked about taking courses, reading seminars, listening to books, reading books. If there are ebooks, for those that don't like to read, can do ebooks and all that. So starting up an entrepreneur, those are the 6 points. I will just run through them again so that for those that are writing, measure your desire to change. That's number 1. Set a realistic goal for yourself, your time frame for yourself. run your business on your lunch break. Don't run it, don't let it affect your 9 to 5. Some people, the income they are making in their business, you cannot compare it to 9 to 5 pays them a lot more. So make sure that you don't have conflict of interest, and make sure, like I said, when I was in the bank, it was against bank ethics, so I couldn't do business. But when I got to other projects that I could do, I started up. So make sure that it doesn't conflict with where you work. You understand it, because that work is also a source of income for you. Is a source of fulfillment for you, and it also pays your bills. So you have to learn to strategize and prioritize and make sure that it doesn't affect each other. In where I work, they don't even know that I have a store. I'm always in the office. You get managers, when I'm on break, I can decide to go for my lunch break anytime. And you don't use office things to do your things. That's why I said, that's number 4. Join a direct sales opportunity business, like when Small Business Link, you can join this kind of thing that help you to promote your business while you are doing your 9 to 5. Then invest in yourself. That's number 6. Learn to invest in yourself. This helps you to do more, to understand who you are. It helps you as you're handling a lot of things. You need a lot of knowledge to understand what you're doing. Get a mentor in your field of life. Understand that at a point in time, one needs a mentor. It doesn't matter the age. You just need some people to mentor you. How do I use internet? How do I get apps to design for my flyers? You don't have to get a flyer page. There are a lot of apps that are free on iPhone. Those are about investing in yourself and your dreams. Get more professional courses, because you're going to be having more money as an entrepreneur to do those things. So then that's the last one. Those are the 6 points. I'll just go around stating that entrepreneurship is a stewardship, is an act of service, even though the end is to make profit. A lot of times you don't start making profit in your first, second year of being an entrepreneur. You have to keep persistent. You have to keep being at it. So managing your business, managing your career and your family, it's a very huge one, but it's doable. When you understand your time, you own your time, you own your life. A lot of time we don't focus on ourselves. Focus on yourself. Make sure that you have a me time. Always think through what you have done. What have I done today? What have I done this week? Like some of us have been working on for the past 2 months. Have you done anything meaningful? Have you done any course online? There are a lot of courses online. Have you been able to bond with your children this period? Apart from their online schools that they're doing, have you had time to create with them and talk to them? What do you want to do? What do you want to, of course, some kids are too early to tell you what you want to become, but you can watch them from the things they do. You can understand their trend and who they are and the kind of child or children they want to become. You can start having intimate talks with them. This makes up for your time, maybe that you have spent in January, February, March. And also, you should also learn to be organized. You have to learn to be organized. You have to complain less. You have to also involve your spouse. Make sure that what you're doing, you're running it through your family. For those of us that have a family, if you have husbands, or engage in them. Like I tell a lot of things I ask should I do this? I already know what to do. Sometimes you just want to have an involvement in them. And so he will tell me, why don't you do that? I'll be like, okay, thank you. And he can what he says. Sometimes it might not align. We can say, oh, thank you, but I think, can we do this? He'll be like, oh, that's true. You can also talk to your children. Oh, what do you think? Should I get someone to model my clothes for me? They'll say, oh, mommy, that's good. Oh, but it will cost you more. Okay, let me get a mannequin. Will you wear it? With that, you are creating time. You're running your business. You're juggling your career, and also bonding with your family. You're raising great family. Remember that in all these things that we do, our family comes first. Whatever we do, our family comes first. And also, we should always learn time to prioritize our health. We need to live an healthy lifestyle. We need to exercise. I notice that anytime I do exercise, I get very burdened. I get very heavy. You don't have time. You don't have that energy. You don't have that positive vibes, that hormones, that happy hormones that flow through you. So, and your health is your greatest asset, because without good health, you cannot juggle all these things together. You must have a healthy body. Then you must be grateful, be happy. A lot of us were very grumpy. We're always complaining. Let's be happy. Those are the things that can push you through this system, through this process. I think those are my points. And I want to give us time for us to have questions and answers. I'll probably be able to elaborate more. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for that. A very well spent time here with you. Thank you very much. I'll try to unmute those I had to mute their mics. It's time for you to now ask your questions, please. If you've got any questions, I've unmute everyone. So please ask your question.
You know, say as this COVID day now. No, I've not.
Hello, any questions?
Yes, please. I have a question.
Okay.
My guess is
all right.
It's so intense.
All right. Is somebody talking off? Can I go on?
Yeah, go on, please.
All right. Thank you so much for that amazing talk, and at least I've learned a lot from you. I want to say a very big thank you to the organizer of this event. My question goes to us: is it bad to have, to be doing so many things? As in, for example, now I want to use myself as a case study. Like, I'm into food, I'm into travel. Is it bad for you to have chains of businesses? I want to know. Like, I'm into food, I'm into events, I'm into events. Like, we have an event center, we rent it out. I'm into food store. I'm into properties. We just started the property aspect of that business. So is it bad for you to have multiple businesses, or I don't know how to put the question. I hope you understand.
Oh, I do. Thank you very much. I hope you can see me.
Yes.
It's not bad. You're not doing 9 to 5, sis, I guess.
No, I'm not doing any 9 to 5.
Yes. Because let me tell you something. An average millionaire has multiple streams of income. If you're not doing 9 to 5, you should run like 5, 6 businesses at a time. That's the truth. Like now, the event business is not working now because of the COVID. Imagine if that was the only thing you were doing and your source of income. In fact, now we have to diversify. Divestiture is very key. So as a full business person that you're not doing 9 to 5, you have a lot more in your hand to do. So now actually run 5, 6 businesses together. So you're into food, fantastic. That is what is in everybody is food, because that's the survival rate. You must eat. Now nobody is having parties. Before, you were raining all through some months back. It was always events. I'm sure event center was fully booked. But now things have changed, and it's going to be like that till December. So it's not bad at all. You've done very well. What you just need to do is to keep systems in place to make sure that you have a grip of what you're doing. Do you understand? If you're running a food business, make sure that your inventory is intact. If not, you will be working for your staff. They will be stealing from you. You must understand that operations of your business must be key. You must have an inventory method. Whatever, I don't know what you're doing, if it's bag of rice, oil. So you must have a stock card. You must be able to take inventory. An entrepreneur is not a lazy person. I tell people it's a whole lot of work. When I'm doing inventory in my store, I psych up myself in the morning. When I want to do inventory, I'll be psyching myself from Monday, Tuesday. I'm doing inventory this Saturday. I'm doing inventory, and the best thing you can do is to automate your business. I think that's just the best thing to do. You have to invest in e-technology. Once you automate your invest, it runs your print down of your inventory at the end of the month. It shows you how much you have sold. It shows you your bank balance, and it shows you your deficits, creditors, and with that, it makes life easy for you. So you can actually, at a glance of your screen, you can actually plot a graph and see what your business is doing at the end of each month. So you can tell if you're making profit, if you're at deficit. So then you can now know your area of strength. How do I come into this? What should we do? The food business, we made a loss last month. What happened? Oh, we had a lot of expired goods. We couldn't sell it. So what do you do? So when you are buying, you make sure you buy things that 2 years, that has expiry date. Or where we kept it, a lot of them were spoiled. So you need to make sure that where you're keeping your things, they are moist. Your travel agent, how do you market it? I need to get more on Instagram. We didn't make a lot of money. I need to talk to family and friends. I need to let people understand that and have confidence in you. So it's a good job you're doing, sis. It's a very good one, because multiple streams is the way forward now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.
And also, I have another one question. How do you go about getting staff, like faithful staff? Because, sometimes when you start, you have multiple streams of income. And the issue that I usually have is that when they when some of your clients, they are used to a particular person, and you now do like a change, you change the person, they are always like, this person, I prefer this person. I don't know whether you understand the question, my question. If they are
I
too
do.
attached.
I do.
Familiar.
I think one of the things you do is to. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
Yes.
I think one of the things we need to do, for me, what I did was that I got a business line.
Okay.
Never allow your staff to chat your clients on their personal line. Don't ever make that mistake. Don't do it. No matter how loyal the staff is, don't do it. Make everything professional. You provide data, you provide call bills, you provide the phone. So even when they chat with the particular staff that they like, it's on the business line. Yes, so there's no attachment. A lot of us, a lot of people don't, it's about putting systems in place. My staff don't use their personal line when they get to the store in the morning. I know they call their people on it, it's fine. Those are benefits on the job. I call people on my business, on my office line, even though I have credit on my phone. So you must understand that we have to put those things, it's systemic. So when the staff tells you it's going, I've had a girl that was with me for like 3 years, she was very good. Everybody liked her to bits. But when she was going, she told me she was leaving and she wanted to go to school. She didn't go to school. She left me. But my customers were still there. So when they come, and the new person I got, I taught her how to chat, how to relate. So when they get, I said, oh, I thought was this also person that was chatting with me. I said, oh, she's no more with us. She needed to proceed. She needed growth. So, and we still retained our customer, even though they liked her, but they will be forced to like the new person because it's the same system. You have taught the first person that you are going to pick the second person. So you have to invest in those things. Never allow your staff to contact your client on their personal phones, whether on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp. Make sure that it's on the business line. So the attachment to the company, attachment to the girl is on the company's basis. It's not on their personal property. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Any more questions? We're almost rounding up because we started late. We were waiting for everyone to join in. Any more questions in 2 minutes? If you have anything to say, and if I've muted you for some reason, please, you can raise your hands and I'll unmute you. So for the purpose of people who are just joining, can you please run through the 6 steps again and we'll round it off there. Thank you.
Okay, for those that are just joining us, I said entrepreneur journey is a very interesting one. The topic we all know, managing career, business, and family. I said to start up, I gave a rundown of how I started my business while I was doing 9 to, well, then when I was still doing in the way I was working. I said, measure your desired change. You need to know what you want to do. I gave a story how I went to go and learn baking and I couldn't bake when I got back. It was very disheartening. But I realized that that wasn't me. I don't like to cook. So why would I go and learn how to bake cupcakes, But I thought that was what was in the moment. So everybody was doing it. It was very beautiful. But you have to understand what you like. So when I realized that I like fashion, I like to dress up, then I went into opening a store. So measure your desired change, knowing what you want to do, why you want the change, not what is in, for the reason of it. I want to create multiple stream. I want it to be a sustainable business. You understand? So you want to make sure that you have a backup. Then make sure that, number 2, set a realistic time frame. If you're setting up a business, set up a realistic time frame for yourself. Give yourself a long time to achieve it. Don't be hard on yourself, because a lot of times we compare ourselves to other people. And that's why we're always very hard to ourselves. So I can't do it. You can do it. You have the ability to do it. So do market research. Under that, number 2, I said do market research. Prepare yourself. There'll be a lot of ups and downs. Just prepare your mind that whatever you face on this journey of setting up the business, you're going to excel. Okay?
Someone said, I don't quite get the first point.
I said measure your desired change. What do you want to do? Evaluate your change. I'm in the context of having 9 to 5, I want to run a business. What do I want to do? Measure your change. Yeah, why do I want this? Why do I want to do this? So you have to understand, yes, measure your desired change. Yes, I've answered that. So that is it. So set up your mind, make sure that you understand what you want to do yourself. A lot of times we don't understand what we want to do ourselves. So can I go ahead?
Yes, please. Someone is on mute and the background noise.
Okay, I have a question. I have a question. Can I go ahead?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. Please go.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you so much. I want to ask, for
Yeah.
every business, there's always we always have competitors. I'm also into clothing, and I know sometimes when I'm advertising to people, they'll say there are so many people selling clothes. There are so many. To me, it can be demoralizing. Sometimes it can be discouraging, not demoralizing. It can be discouraging. Okay, for instance, now during this lockdown, even some of my customers will say, "Are you not doing sales?" And I'll say, "This is not the time to talk about clothes now. We are talking about COVID-19." And tonight, as we're talking, so one of my customers called me and she was like, "Somebody wants clothes," and I'm just like, "Oh, I don't want to." She said, "Why wouldn't you check it? Don't you want one?" I said, everything in me needs money. So, but because of the current situation, and then yeah, I don't want to go through the stress of packing, and then somebody will now say they did not see what they like. That one can be very discouraging. So as an entrepreneur, as somebody into clothing lines, how do you handle that aspect? Do you understand my question now?
Yes, let me tell you something. There's enough market for everyone.
Okay.
That's one thing you should understand. Where there's enough, that's what they tell me. There's enough market for everyone. Do you know how many people that in I don't know where you're, do you know how many people that are in Abuja? Can I satisfy all their clothing needs? I can't. So it's a very large market. When people tell me, oh, some even tell you your things are expensive, I'll say, oh, thank
Yes.
you. I'll tell them, thank you very much, but that's what I sell it. There are people that are higher than you, there are people that are lower than you. It's a very large market. So a lot of times we must have self-confidence in ourselves that no matter what it is, we will succeed. Because a lot of naysayers are out there. They don't come out outrightly as naysayers, but they keep in those words to us. Why do you want to do, when I was starting, why do you want to sell clothes? There's boutique everywhere. They end up closing down. I'm 5 years down the line and I'm not going to close down. I'm going to get bigger. It's about what you speak to yourself, what you say to yourself, your confidence in you, because it's in us. Let me tell you something, nobody will make you succeed without your consent. And nobody can pull you down without your consent. So when you do, tell them, oh, I want to die because that's what I love to do. I love to sell clothes. I love to beautify people. In this lockdown, these things you went through, people have been calling me, we want to buy this, we want to that. I brought things, so nobody has bought anything. But I will keep posting. You won't be discouraged. I'll keep posting. I'll keep saying, oh, I will keep selling. One day somebody will chat you up and say, do you have this? Do you have my size? And you don't have to go there. You can send your dispatch to go and deliver to the person. So to that question that's saying that, oh, you don't be discouraged, sis. We're all in it. Some days goes, you don't sell anything. Just try to look for strategies. How do I get my business better? How do I promote my business? I've been looking, like now, I've been saying, oh, after COVID, what do I do? Am I going to do sales? I've been trying to check my cost, evaluate my business. What do I have now? Can I afford this? Can I afford to do sales after COVID when it's gone? I want to have a sales. You have to just keep developing strategies and keep doing it, to make sure that you are still in check and you're in the business. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry we can't take any more questions because we're far behind time. I really appreciate you for coming here. Thank you for joining, for encouraging our speaker as well, because if you're not here, we'll just be speaking to nobody. So thank you, and I hope that what we have taken from this message about balancing our business, career, and family would work for everyone and will see things in a better light. Thank you very much, Premium Clothing. Is it? Am I right? CEO of
Yes, ma'am.
Clothing. Thank you very much for spending your time with us. God bless you richly.
Thank you, doctor, for the invite. I appreciate.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us. It was a pleasure.
God bless you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Inyoluwa.
Anoluwa.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining.
Sorry, I was talking and my mic was mute. Babes Redefined.
All right.
So, thank you very much for joining. God bless you. Have a good night.
Bye,
Bye.
Cynthia. I can see you. Thank you, my friend, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm coming.
So I hope I did well.
And the Balogans and the, I don't know.
The Balogos. Hi, Dr. Bimbo.
Tomorrow is the day, so they're actually getting ready for tomorrow's party, I guess.
What tomorrow?
The 16th.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Dr. B.
Saturday. Oh,
She's not there.
all right,
She's
then.
gone off.
Let me log off now. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Cynthia.
bye. Love you, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.